It's me, Mike. Listen, I'll save you $1,000 right now. You think you want a brand new cell phone because all those new iPhones came out? Check this out. Once you save some cash, update all your apps, all 94 of them, and change your background photo. Right? Poor man's new phone. Also, if you're like, my phone has a crack in it, so how are we going to fix that? Why don't you update your hands so you don't drop your shit anymore? Lot going on this week. I got yelled at by Jeff Garlin. That ever happened to you? I was at the Hollywood Improv taking pictures of stand-up comedians doing their thing. And I was in the lab and I was taking pictures of Jeff Garlin, and it was real quiet. And I snuck up around the side of the stage and he was like, what are you doing? I can't do his, I hurt my own voice trying to do his. And I was like, hey man, I'm just take a pic. And he was like, don't do that. And he was like, why don't you come here for a second? And I had my hair tied back and I had a backwards hat on. This is all important to the story. And he was like, why are you here? And I was taking pictures for the club. And he's like, are they paying you or are you just here? And I was like, no, they're paying me a little bit and I'm a comedian, so it's good to hang around the club. He's like, all right, I wish you the best of luck. Also, turn your hat around. And so I turn my hat around, and it's a black LA Dodgers hat. It's up there. You can't see it. And he goes, well, it's not a real Dodgers hat because it's black. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm not trying to trick anyone into thinking I don't look like someone who would play professional anything. He was like, don't wear a hat anymore. And in my mind, I was like, I gotta wear this hat because my hair is tied back like this. And I look like a soccer player. I look like MLS. And then my friend Pap told me that when I wear my hair like that, it looks like I throw axes. And I laughed about that for a long, long time. What else? Here's something that was really funny to me. I was watching wrestling this weekend, just a little bit. I have no time to watch wrestling anymore because it's on for 5 hours at a time. And who has just 5 hours to just do one thing that's not sleeping? But it was a pay-per-view called Hell in a Cell, and they're in this hellscape. They're in this cell. And then they go under the ring, as they do, common occurrence, and they pull out steel folding chairs and wooden folding tables and ladders. And I'm like, who keeps keeping this shit under the wrestling ring? Who are the folding chairs for? Everyone around ringside has... have you ever seen the folding chairs that they have at real events? They're like fucking airbrushed, sexy chairs, cushiony, nice collector's items. And then wooden folding table. Who's that for? People set up the ring and have craft service buffet? Absolutely not. It's not for the announcers. Like back in the day, back in the 80s and the 90s, maybe the announcing table was a wooden folding table with like WWF tablecloth and 2 monitors on it. But now they got these plastic who-has, and the monitors are built into the table. So who are these things for? And who keeps placing these things under the ring? Somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody's going to get hit with one or more of those things. The ladders make sense because there's lights, and you got to get to the lights. But be more responsible. You guys all know what time it is. It's time for my neighbor to turn on his motorcycle that he never rides and just let it run early in the morning. And you thought you missed it.
Like, I bought this to share it, and I want it gone or I'm going to eat it all.
Right.
So I was at the CVS the other day, and I saw this giant bag of candy corn, and I was like, oh, man, Owen was so nice buying us that bag. I mean, or at least buying that community bag of candy corn. I felt like, why not? Why don't I buy this bag for the apartment? And it's like thank you, Owen, for thinking of us last time. Now I'm doing it.
Let's bring this home and figure out how to get rid of this one.
Turns out Owen didn't like that gift. Owen was upset about the gift because he said the only reason why I bought the first bag was to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because why would you buy something to get rid of it?
You walking around CVS, I bet I can get rid of this.
You know what? I better get rid of this. You know, you see it on the shelf and go, ooh, I better get rid of that. You just put it in your cart.
I'm going to pay you. You walk up to get checked out. I like to pay you so I can get rid of this for you. I saw this on your shelf. I'm going to help you get rid of it. Here's $5.
Yeah, like it goes by on the conveyor belt and you're pointing at it. You're like, I'm going to get rid of this.
You know what else weirds me out? And please tell me in the comments if you identify with this. The more important something is, the shittier its website is, for whatever reason. The DMV, every health insurance, shittiest possible website. Why is it that I could go, what's a good example? I could do anything else. I could buy a fart machine or an ET and address for any one of my friends who might be interested in that. Here is a perfect example. I could buy a Dynamic Banter hoodie, a piece of apparel about a nonsense podcast on a beautiful, pristine website, and the transaction is over like that. But if I'm gonna go try to renew my license or pay a ticket or try to look at God forbid, look at my options for other healthcare, I'm there all day on what seems like your 56K modem. It's the equivalent. It's like if you wore a fucking sundial on your wrist and you're like, I don't know, 330-ish. Is back.
Great. That's nice.
I read a Bob Ross quote because I haven't watched an episode in a while, and I'll get back to doing that so you can get the B-sides and the deep cuts and the ones that no one puts into top 10 articles.
Right.
There are so many fucking top 10 articles that are like the 10 most famous Bob Ross quotes.
Is that real? That's real?
There are so many. There are
good.
more articles than there are quotes. But this one I had never heard before. And it says, Bob Ross says, go out on a limb. That's where the fruit is. Isn't that nice?
That is nice.
It's also the weakest part of the branch. So be careful. And
It's
that
true.
leads us gently into, this was things Bob Ross taught me this week. The ride took 4 minutes. They turn on the bikes. They leave the bikes idling for 20 minutes. They ride it around for 4 minutes just to make sure of something. Somebody who rides motorcycles, tell me why that makes sense. And then don't be afraid when I forget it instantly on purpose. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I had such a good time. Come see me at the Corner Comedy Club in Toronto and then in Niagara Falls later on this month. I'll be there from the 26th to the 30th. Coming to Nashville to perform at the Olin Rogers Soda Parlor. The Rogerses. It's the soda parlor of the Rogerses. Tough sentence to get through. I'm going to eat some hot chicken while I'm there. And that's November 5th. And those tickets are all on Eventbrite. A bunch of shows coming up in LA. Those shows are all on MikeFalzone.com. Pick up your Dynamic Banter hoodie at the easy-to-use website, dynamicbanter.clothing. Also, there's these on DFTBA. Hope you enjoyed the new segments. We'll get back into segments, player, is the dorkiest sentence I've ever said. Y'all like segments? Too expensive to drop the mic because I paid for this. Looking for a Mike Flag sponsorship.